Hello, Cloris here. How are you doing? Today I'm gonna share with you how I got my German citizenship. Back in July 2024, I got my German citizenship finally after almost 7 years living in Germany. I came to Germany in 2018 to start my master's, and then I started working after 2 years. Before I got my citizenship, I was already a permanent resident here, so I guess that helped to speed up my process quite a lot. I didn't change my job. I have a very stable income. And yeah, even though I don't have a German boyfriend or German partner, I still can get the German citizenship. So I hope my experience can help someone just like me coming to Germany alone by themselves and who are trying to build a life here. Actually, the application process is more smooth than I've ever thought, which is quite surprising because I thought they could ask me to submit some extra documents or get some extra proof or something else, but it turns out to be like super smooth. I submitted my application and they just processed it for a year or something, and then they came back to me with an email saying, okay, you can pick up your Urkunden, and this is already the final decision they have made to give me the citizenship. Yeah, I was just there to take a pledge. By the way, one of the reasons that I moved back to Göttingen after 2 years living in Munich was also because I wanted to speed up the naturalization process. It turned out pretty successful according to my original plan, and I'm super happy and satisfied. And yeah, I'm just a lucky one. And then right after that, I was kind of forced to move back to Munich. For this story, I can do it in another podcast. I will tell you why I moved back to Munich and how's everything going recently. I think some people would ask, what's the difference between German citizenship and permanent residency? There's a quick answer to this. With the German permanent residency, I can't leave Germany for more than 180 days per 365 days. If I were to stay with my family for a super long time, and I might lose my German permanent residency. This is a concern for me because, my mom would be getting old and I am not sure if she would need me someday. So I think it's safer for me to get the German citizenship so that I can leave Germany and come back anytime I want. I don't have any plan to leave Germany, but I'm also open to any opportunities in other countries, probably within Europe, because I think Europe is really the home for me, that I feel safe, I feel peaceful. For me personally, I just think the life here is a better fit for my personality and mentality. So I still prefer living here than in Asia. I don't know, I never say never. It's life. You can never predict. And then for the second important point is that I can vote in the future because I'm a German citizen and I can have this right to vote. So these are the two main reasons why I wanted to be a German citizen. But so far, honestly speaking, if you were to ask me what's the difference after becoming a German on paper, it doesn't really affect my daily life that much because I've been living here for 6-7 years right now. I think what matter would be my German skills that I still need to improve. It still takes some time and more motivation. Anyway, first of all, I will share my timeline and see what document I have submitted. Basically, the whole process is just case by case. For me, as a single person, I think it's easier than anyone else because I just have a job and I don't have kids. I don't have anything special or marriage certificate or anything else. I gave them all the documents they need from me. And then I think they have already my records as a student, as an employee. That's why the application was super smooth, that I just got it right after the new law came into effect. So which is the end of June, 27th of June to be exact. I'm just super lucky. I submitted my application before the new law came into effect. The new law wasn't even passed in the Bundestag or something. So here's the timeline. I actually checked online before I spoke to anyone at the Ausländerbehörde. Basically, I satisfied the old law requirements in addition to the new law, because new law just require us to stay here for 5 years, and of course income proof and stuff like that. But then for the old law, I have satisfied living in Germany for 6 years, and also I got my B2 German certificate. Earlier in 2023, I emailed the Ausländerbehörde. What is that called? It's not Ausländerbehörde, but okay, I've checked again. This government department is called Fachdienst Ausländer- und Staatsangehörigkeitenangelegenheiten. Oh my god, such a complicated, long German name. So I contacted the government and so to see what documents I need. If for my case I have satisfied the requirements. So and then they gave me a document list that I should submit. But I didn't get an appointment with anyone else. They just simply sent me the document list via email. So I just went through the list and then just collect all the documents I needed. So in 2023 February, I got my German B2 certificate from Goethe Institute, and then right afterwards I applied for the Einbürgerungstest, which is the naturalization test. The test is about basically German history, German culture, and some laws and institution stuff. If you've been living in Germany for some time, and you should be able to answer that, but it doesn't matter. As long as you revise and use the app to study, there are like 330 questions in the database, and you have to just pass with maybe 17 or 18 questions. Yeah, but it's super easy, just multiple choices, and you can just memorize the answers just like I did. Yeah, so to be honest, I didn't really study much. I just memorized the answers of each question. But please don't revoke my citizenship because I'm not familiar with everything about German history and stuff. And eventually I got actually a full mark, like 33 out of 33 for this test. I wouldn't say you have to worry much about it. But of course, the test is in German, so I guess at least you need to speak German and you have some basic German knowledge in order to pass this. In June, meanwhile, I was sending my birth certificates for translation, so that you have to look for a translator online, and they are certified and they can give you a translated version of your birth certificate or other documents. I don't know what that could be, but for my case, that's a birth certificate. Also the translation took place pretty fast. I just sent the soft copy via email to the translator, and then within 1 week, she just got back to me with all the translation, and she also sent me a hard copy, and then I paid via bank transfer. So it's pretty smooth and easy. But I also heard from a friend who lives in Frankfurt. She was trying to look for a translator, and then she got no response from anyone. In that case, you can ask your friends or anyone who had to deal with translation to recommend you a translator so that you don't have to struggle that much, in addition to all these chaos and documents and bureaucracies, right? So after I have collected all these information and these documents, I just sent out my application form. Also, one interesting thing about this application form, you have to write a passage. It's like a small passage, around 100 words in German, why you want to be a German citizen. So basically I just wrote like, Germany is my home, I feel safe here, I want to stay for a long time here, and etc, etc. I have friends and I have work here, something like that. Yeah, it could be personal according to your own situation. And then after I submitted the application by post, I think maybe within 2 days, I've already got the confirmation of my application. So that means they will process it, and then it takes maybe around a year or something, according to what they said. And then afterwards, there was like 1 year without any news, any letter, any email, anything. It's like I just lost it or something. It was quite a frustrating period that when I didn't hear anything, right? I was also wondering what would happen when the new law came into effect. But there are some Facebook groups about Einbürgerung, and so that people would share their experience and timeline about their naturalization process. So I read some posts online saying when the new law came into effect that I don't have to renounce my old citizenship, and I also didn't have to apply again. So that was quite relieved when you hear people's experience, people's stories, and they have their extreme cases, etc. Certainly, I know the process could be very frustrating because we don't hear a lot of news or updates. And for some cities, the Sacharbeiter don't even reply you. The process is quite mentally exhausting. Finally, in the end of June, I got an email saying I could pick up my Urkunde, which is the Naturalization certificate. But before they gave me this, I had to make a pledge, and they gave me already the appointment to finish everything. And then fast forward, the following week, I went to the Ausländerbehörde in the morning. One thing, they asked me to bring my birth certificate original copy. When I was there, I could also bring a friend or some friends or some people close to you. I brought one German friend and another friend, but another friend was late. So my German friend and I just went into the office. First of all, the Sacharbeiter would check my birth certificate to make sure all the information was correct. She was pretty nice. I think I'm super lucky that I have a really, really nice, friendly Sacharbeiter. After she checked all the information, she printed some declaration documents for me to sign. Of course, she explained what these are. I could I guess 80% understood what she said. Of course, and after all these, I asked my German friends what she said. So basically it's what I got already. So I didn't miss much. But I was super, super nervous because I know my German level is not there as a native or super fluent. So I was super lucky to have a German friend sitting next to me in case of anything he could help. And then after I signed all these documents, it's 5 or 6 declaration or something. And then I was brought to another room for taking the pledge. There was another guy who would say a bunch of things. I don't quite remember right now. Anyway, my friend helped me to film the video of me taking the pledge.
Ja, und dann möchte ich den fettgedruckten Text von Ihnen hören.
Ich erkläre feierlich, dass ich das Grundgesetz und die Gesetze der Bundesrepublik Deutschland achten und alles unterlassen werde, was ihr schaden könnte.
Sehr schön. Dann darf ich die Urkunde geben mit der Ausländerurkunde. Das heißt, jetzt sind Sie deutsch.
Danke.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Sie sind deutsch. Geschafft.
It's all done. So I became officially German. Of course, I proceed to pay the application fee. So I paid in total 255 euros for the whole process, excluding the translation. For translation, it's case by case. For example, for my birth certificate, I paid 70 euros. Anyway, I have no idea how much it would cost for other documents. And then on the same day, I went to Standesamt to change my name because I wanted to add a German first name on all the German documents. I need this before I apply for my new passport and new ID. Before I got my Urkunde, I had already consulted the Standesamt via email. They told me that there are certain requirements if you were to change your name. In Germany, it's not easy to change your name. The only exceptions would be you get naturalization like me, or you are married to someone and you wanted to change your last name, family name, or other situation like your name is causing you a lot of issues that you went to a psychologist or something that caused strong impact on your mental health or something. But I don't know exactly if it's other cases, what would happen. What proof they need to submit. For my case, it's just easy. I show them my Urkunde that day, and then I already told them what name exactly I want to have. Of course, I still keep my Chinese, Cantonese first name, but I can add another first name before my Chinese first name. Right now, I have 2 first names. I just want to use this name for some bureaucracies or future job applications or apartment hunting, etc. In those scenarios. The other thing, I wanted to be called by this name in the future so that I don't have to explain a lot about the name, and also the name can already tell my gender, that no one would say Mr. something to me if they have no information about my gender. Ideally, hopefully, it would make my life easier here in Germany. Yeah, when I say my name, I don't have to spell it every single time. That's why I wanted to have a German name. If your name has an equivalent German name, you don't have to pick a new name. You just have to use the German version of your original name. For example, if you are Matthew in English, and then your German name would be Matthias, and for some Arabic name, they already have the version in German, so that they don't have to pick a new name, just use your old name, and there's a German version already available. But they actually didn't tell me this. I just Googled it, and it shows that it's possible to change your name or add a new name. That's why I wanted to do this, but it's not compulsory at all. And then for name change, I got to pay 60 euros, which is not a lot. But if you were to change your family name, it could cost more. I don't have any intention to change my family name. Anyway, after all, for the name change certificate, I just got it right away on the same day after just a few minutes. It's super quick comparing to all other German bureaucracy. And then yeah, I've got everything ready, and I've already booked another online appointment for my German ID and passport application, which is like 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, as I remember, because it was during summer. A lot of people were applying for renewal of their passports. That's why my appointment for applying my new ID and passport was like 2 to 3 weeks afterwards. Even in a small town like Göttingen. During my appointments, the guy also told me if I wanted to get my passport earlier, like in a few days, then I have to pay like around 30 euros for express application. If I didn't pay this, then it's gonna last for maybe 2 to 3 months. And I wasn't sure if I would travel or not in 2 to 3 months. And I just paid it as an extra to just get all the documents ready, so I would be free anyway. Well, and then it turned out I had to travel and move within 2 to 3 months. I didn't know this at that moment, but I was so glad that I made the decision to just speed up the process. So, and then I got my passport and ID ready before I moved back to Munich. I would say I'm pretty lucky. Whenever I came to apartment searching in big cities, it's always a struggle for everyone, even the locals. I don't know, sometimes I think it's the universe push or power to move me to somewhere else or push me to the next stage of my life or something like this. Okay, I think this is it for my first podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Bye.